Can you believe this? This is an ombre brow technique that can be done beautifully without pre-drawing the brow shape. This is the newest 2026 brow tutorial. Make sure to follow and save this video. Let's take a look at how we create brows without outlining the shape first. First, find the area where the brow hair is the densest. At this point, we start by creating a brow spine line using a charcoal gray tone. This is the charcoal gray, and this is the dark brown. This is our transitional blending tone. The charcoal gray is the deeper shade, working from the inside outward. The secret behind this no outline brow technique is that we create the brow spine first. In other words, we control the color before controlling the shape. Most artists, after mapping the brows, focus on shaping first and color second. But we do the opposite. We begin with the charcoal gray to quickly build depth in the center area. At this point, many students ask, why not use a lighter color as the base, then add darker tones for dimension? Why start with the darker tone right away? Because in Teacher Pan's technique, starting with a deeper shade first reduces unnecessary adjustments. The pigment grabs faster and the healed retention is much better. If the final healed result is meant to be a deeper tone anyway, then why not begin with the deeper tone from the start? Let's wipe it. You can see it already grabbed color in one pass. This brow spine line has a soft curve, so this area naturally dips downward slightly. That's why we layer a second pass to deepen the brow spine. Our charcoal gray pigment has very fine molecular particles. It deposits color instantly and retains beautifully. Just one pass gives enough saturation. Once the saturation is there, we can begin expanding downward. As we move downward, switch to another tone. Because this is a no outline brow technique, we follow the brow spine line and begin with a lighter shade first, softly layering in the dark brown. The dark brown doesn't touch the outer edge, and we avoid creating a hard border. Wipe it again. You can already see the lower section taking color. Any empty areas should be individually filled in. At this point, the lower section is complete. Fewer corrections, faster saturation, and better healed retention later on. Next, we begin working on the upper section. Pay attention to the spacing between each pixel point. For the upper section, leave slightly more skin visibility, and the gradient will look softer and more beautiful. Some students ask, do we need to cross-layer the movement? Honestly, either way works. Wipe it again. One pass and the color is already there. Our pigments grab color very quickly. Next comes the second pass to refine the surface consistency. Continue layering the second pass. Because we didn't pre-outline the brow shape, there's no need to rush outward too quickly. Later, I'll show you how we control and sculpt the shape. This is one of the most important lessons in this entire video, so don't miss it. Make sure to follow and save this tutorial. At the brow front, the movement should stay very soft and light to create a gentle foundation. This helps us control both delicacy and shape much more precisely. Using a rounded needle configuration, we refine the center of the brow spine. The purpose of refinement is to turn larger pixels into finer pixels and larger gaps into softer transitions. So we need to identify areas where the spacing is too open. If you want a cleaner and more beautiful gradient, different areas must be worked with different tones. In the center area, I continuously use charcoal gray to build saturation. For the transition zone, I only use dark brown. This allows the color to settle much faster. Later, I'll explain more deeply how we control the structure. For now, let's first even out the inconsistent areas. Look at this section here. It's still uneven and slightly empty. So we add a little more pigment. And while we're here, Let's talk about shaping the brow front. Starting from the inner corner of the eye, move upward to this position. And from here, the color should gradually soften. Take a very small amount of lighter pigment and softly fade it forward. Once you locate the inner eye corner, that becomes the ending point of the brow front. Everything extending forward from that line belongs to the lighter transition area. The effect should stay airy and soft. Never push too much color forward or the gradient will lose its softness. This is the boundary for working the brow front correctly. After reaching this stage, use cleansing cream to check whether the color is truly implanted or only sitting on the surface. Pigment can hide inside the pores, so without cleaning properly, the evaluation won't be accurate. After wiping, the brows also appear softer and clearer. Look here, the yellow res. Anything that wipes away is only false surface saturation. After cleaning, you can still see a few open areas, so we add a little more pigment there. Next, let's learn how to create shape without relying on a hard outline, using a very soft transitional tone. The overall brow length is determined from the nose wing to the outer eye corner. First, establish the length. Place a guide point, then a line upward from the center of the eyeball to locate the brow arch. The distance from the arch to the brow center is usually around 0.7 to 0.8 centimeters. Even though we don't pre-draw the shape, we still need structural guide points. A line upward from the inner eye corner, and this becomes the lower brow front point. Once all 5 guide points are established, connect and refine the spaces between them. After finishing this section, wipe and observe again. You'll still see a faint guide impression here. Next, refine the curve transition between the brow arch and the brow center. Some students question, if there's no outline, won't the shape become uneven? Won't the brows end up asymmetrical? But honestly, even pre-mapped brows can still lose shape. The no outline technique actually gives us better control over the gradient because we control color first, then shape. Traditional methods focus on shape first and color second. Next, we refine the upper structure. This area needs slightly stronger saturation, using a softer tone. From the brow arch forward, the structure becomes more straight than curved, so the pixel placement should follow a horizontal direction. There's no need to completely fill the outer edge. A slight airy openness actually looks more elegant. When working the edge, tap lightly once, wait for the color to settle, then continue. There's no need to rush. At this point, the upper color placement is almost complete. For the extra hairs around the edges, use tweezers to remove them gently. If you shave them too cleanly, the brows will look stiff and unnatural. Next, we sculpt the lower structure using the khaki tone again. When shaping the lower section, the area aligned with the pupil should have a slight inward curve. From the outer edge of the pupil forward, there should be a subtle curve. The movement flows downward, not forward. Notice how this curve stays parallel to the first third of the eye. Many people say you can work without outlining because you already see the shape in your mind. But honestly, that's not it. It's because I understand the foundational logic behind brow structure. Once you truly understand that logic, creating beautiful brows becomes much simpler. After refining the lower edge, look at the overall result now. A soft, natural gradient without pre-designing the shape can still create beautifully balanced brows. Make sure to watch this video repeatedly. If there's anything you still don't understand, leave a comment for Mina below. See you in the next video.